Sitting on a planet, thoughts in bloom, stars in my soul and my crystals in tune, floating on clouds made of questions and grace, talking about life with a chibi little face. It's re-alien, we back again, floating through your mind in a galaxy den. You're safe here, stardust, take off your mask. We laugh, we cry, we talk, we ask. Gus in the portal with stories to spill, from Saturn to snacks to emotional skill, talking about brains that zigzag and sing, and how healing feels when you just do your thing. No shame in your orbit, no need to shrink. No words got rhythm, just dance how you think. It's okay to stutter, to stim, to pause. You're light in a vessel with the universal cause. So light your candle, sip your tea. There's magic in your frequency. We are the question, we are the spark, we are the cosmos healing in the dark.
Greetings, Neurospices, and welcome back to NeuroGalactic. I'm Ree, your host, and I'm thrilled to have you joining me for the second episode of our Recipe to Happiness series. If you're new here, pop your kettle on and get cozy, because we're about to dive into another essential ingredient that will transform your life. In our last episode, we explored the powerful tool of forgiveness, and today we're moving on to the next crucial component, acceptance. Get ready to simmer down into the warmth of self-awareness and understanding as we dish out the recipe for a more peaceful and fulfilling life. In this episode, we'll be stirring up the concept of acceptance, and I'll be sharing my thoughts on how embracing what is and what has been can be a game changer for your mental, spiritual, physical, and emotional well-being. So grab your favorite cup, take a sip, and let's get cooking on this journey with happiness together. Now, when I was doing my research for this episode, I of course found some proverbs that I'm excited to share with you. So starting with this thought-provoking quote. When? Are you ready? Are you ready? I wasn't ready, but are you ready? When you're in a tug of war with reality, drop the rope. Whoo! The sass. I love it. We know we love a bit of spiritual sass over here, so I'm gonna repeat that for you. When you're in a tug of war with reality, drop the rope. When I say I screamed when I read that for the first time, I felt this phrase encapsulated exactly what it looks like and feels like when we fight acceptance. We fight reality. We fight the truth, the proven. I love the example being the rope and the tug of war energy, as we can really envision ourselves in that. I also feel pulled to say it could be a great meditation visualization. Like, really imagine yourself having this tug of war with whatever it is you're struggling to accept, and then see yourself simply letting go. Releasing the fight, this battle that exists within you. Feeling and embracing the warmness of freeing yourself from the resistance. But I digress. Back to the point. We often don't accept how much power we have in the battles we take on, or that it is us with the power to drop the resistance and to drop the rope. Now, I received another juicy message from a listener who asked, how can I use acceptance as a superpower? Now, first off, I treated this question like homework, honey. I got a whole PowerPoint presentation for you. Slight exaggeration, but I got bullet points, so close enough, right? Honestly, such a creative and imaginative question. Let's explore how acceptance can be a superpower in itself, just by acceptance being what acceptance is. Acceptance is a superpower that allows you to tap into the present moment, letting go of resistance and judgment. By embracing what is, you open yourself up to a sense of freedom and peace. Acceptance enables you to conserve energy, reduce stress, and increase your resilience. It also allows you to develop a deeper understanding of yourself and others, fostering empathy, compassion, and more meaningful conversations. With acceptance, you can navigate life's challenges with greater ease, finding opportunities for growth and learning in every experience. By accepting what is, you can unlock your full potential and live a more authentic, wholehearted life. You can actually learn to be present. Stop being in the worries and the concerns about anxiety, what will be, and the depression and the heaviness and the stress of what's already been. Trying to constantly solve moments you're not actually in. Acceptance brings you here. Acceptance allows you to let go of all of which you're trying to control. That alone makes me want to speak on a few of the proverbs I discovered. So let's have a little proverb moment again. Now, from what I was just saying, that literally just made me think right back to life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. Now, really think about that. Really think about that. What are we choosing to do with our experiences, with our free will, with our opportunities, with our free time, with our mental space, with our emotional space? What are we choosing to do with it? We get to choose our reactions. And generally, that is where our whole sense of reality tends to come from, is how we've chose to react to it, how we're choosing to process it. Again, life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. I find that such a helpful quote to turn to when I'm struggling with acceptance. Just reminding myself how to accept. Another that I came across whilst doing my research for this podcast and making sure I can cement some good proverbs for you guys is release the anchor. The wind will take you where it will. I found that such a beautiful quote. This is a new discovery for me, a new discoverer, a new discovery for me. Release the anchor, let the wind take you where it will. Now, that I feel like, yes, is about acceptance and also is leading us into faith and trust, which will be covered in future episodes. But the beauty of that, of not feeling the need to control every movement, every form of direction, just trusting and knowing you will end up where you're meant to be if you allow yourself to be free. Release the anchor. Stop holding yourself back. Stop keeping yourself wherever anchors keep boats. I can't remember the word. I want to say shore. On the shore? Docking? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Now, I may not know where boats are kept, okay, but I do know loads of quotes. So, to give you one more quote on acceptance before we move on, here it goes. You can't start the next chapter if you keep rereading the last one. Whew. And that is, honestly, I'm going to read that one again because that one is, okay? You can't start the next chapter if you keep rereading the last one, okay? Now, that is very much acceptance, okay? We have to go, I get what the last chapter was. Sometimes I don't know why it was written that way, but we got to keep reading on to find out, right? We got to keep reading on to find out. We can't go into the next step or next stage of our lives as long as we're holding ourselves back by what we've already experienced. Why must we spend this whole book reading the same chapter. There's so much more to explore. There's so much more to see. There's so much more to embody. And that goes for you too. There's so much more of you to explore and to be that shouldn't just be based off of the experiences that you've had. And generally, if we're struggling with acceptance, it's that resistance. It's that feeling of we're experiencing something that we didn't like, something we didn't enjoy, something we don't want to be in. Maybe it could even be as simple as it not being in our comfort zone. But we need to go into that place of acceptance, because once we go into that place of acceptance, we're now in a moving motion. We're no longer stagnant. As long as we are refusing to accept the experiences that have already happened for us, we're refusing to take the lessons from them, and we're refusing to be progressive with them. We're refusing to level up. We're refusing to become our better versions, our higher versions. We are all everything, and as soon as you can accept that, and even the mistakes that you've made, it may not have been something that happened to you. It could be something that you yourself did, that now you've decided to paint yourself with a certain brush or hold yourself back. Maybe you failed at something. Maybe you made a mistake. Maybe you wronged somebody. Maybe you struggled with that forgiveness, and if so, go back to episode 1, please. Go back to episode 1, please. Thank you. But we need to go into that stage of accepting what's been so that we can move forward. And I really, really love that quote. To trail back a little, I'm kind of giggling to myself over here because I did actually come up with some superhero names for acceptance, or characters, or like how their superpowers would work. I got 3 for you that I'm just gonna share, and then we'll get into some more sensible stuff like journaling prompts maybe. But first off, you gotta hear these superheroes, okay? Or even the powers. They're more about like the power than the superhero, if that makes sense. Anyway, okay, so first we have the power of serenity. And this power works like the ability to remain calm and peaceful in the face of chaos. Like no matter what is going on around you, somehow you're just like, yeah, do you know what? It is what it is. And that is one of the biggest superpowers that I've seen people be able to achieve with really strong acceptance. Another superpower I've seen people achieve, I call this one literally just the shield of self-acceptance. And this is like the ability to protect yourself from negative self-talk and self-doubt. It's like, no, look, I see myself as a whole being. I accept myself fully, right? So I've now shielded and protected myself from negative self-talk and negative self-doubt, and also even doubt that's external or negative talk that's external, because you accept yourself as your whole self. So now those things can't affect you in a negative way. You see yourself, you know what you're working on, you know how you're developing yourself, you know what you've learned to embody and embrace, you know what you've needed to learn to release, and you see yourself as everything. You know that you exist in different vibrations when you're exposed to different things, so you've accepted that. You've put prevention is better than the cure in place. You've learned to keep yourself safe from things that may trigger you to certain vibrations, and you know, you're in that space. You've got that shield of self-acceptance. And the last one is the vision of clarity. And this is the ability to see things as they truly are without judgment or resistance. Like, you just see it. You just see it. You don't have no judgment for it. You're just like, oh, it's that. Cool. You know? I forgot what animal they usually say this with, but like, a dog is a dog, right? Call a dog a dog. Oh no, they say a spade is a spade, right? I don't know, whatever the phrase is. I love quotes and phrases and proverbs. It's like, whatever the phrase is, yeah, okay, sometimes I don't remember them. Anyways, I just love the energy of the vision of clarity. So I hope you like these superpowers that I've put out there. Let me know below which part of acceptance would be most useful for you, which superpower you want to learn to embrace the most out of those 3. That was the power of serenity, the shield of self-acceptance, or the vision of clarity. Or maybe you want a combination of the 3. Maybe you've got your own superpower that you could teach me and describe to me that you recognize would come from from acceptance? Please do drop that. Let me know. Okay, you know, I appreciate all of the feedback from you guys and girls and tribes and aliens and whatever. Whatever your superpower might be, remember that acceptance can be a powerful tool for navigating life's challenges and achieving your goals. So with that in hand, let's get some tools in place, right? I am going to give you, like last time, some journal prompts to help you cultivate, I love that word, cultivate acceptance, okay? So we're going to start in an area of reflecting on acceptance. So grab your pen, your paper, get your little journal out or whatever you need to write down these questions. Scrap down. Okay, we are just making up phrases also over here. Okay. And hopefully that gave you a bit of extra time to grab your stuff. You can always pause, but where's the fun in that, right? Okay, Spices. So, starting in reflecting on acceptance. Here is the first prompt I want you to use in your journaling journey, okay? What are some things in my life that I'm struggling to accept? What are some things in my life that I am struggling to accept? This is number 2. How does resistance to acceptance affect my well-being and relationships? How does resistance to acceptance affect my well-being and relationships? Number 3. What would it mean for me to accept blank exactly as they are? What would it mean for me to accept blank exactly as they are? Or it is. That could be a situation or a person. Okay. Then we're going to go into the section of kind of like exploring your emotions on this. And then I have 3 prompts for that. The first of those 3 is, what emotions arise when I think about accepting something I'm resistant to? What emotions arise when I think about accepting something I'm resistant to? How can I acknowledge and validate these emotions? Is the second question for that prompt. How can I acknowledge and validate these emotions? And number 3. What would it take for me to feel more at peace with blank? What would it take for me to feel more at peace with blank? Again, this could be a person or a situation. This next section for the journaling is more about practicing self-compassion, and I have 3 prompts for you here. The first is, what kind of words can I offer myself when I'm struggling with acceptance? What kind of words can I offer myself when I'm struggling with acceptance? How can I treat myself with kindness and understanding even when things don't go as planned? Is the second question. How can I treat myself with kindness and understanding even when things don't go as planned? And the third, what self-care practices can I incorporate into my daily life to promote acceptance? What self-care practices can I incorporate into my daily life to promote acceptance? This next part is for letting go of control, and I have 3 prompts for you here. What aspects of my life am I trying to control excessively? Is the first prompt. What aspects of my life am I trying to control excessively? Number 2. How can I let go of the need to control blank? How can I let go of the need to control blank? And number 3, what would it mean for me to trust in the natural flow of life? Whew. That one is really a provoking one. What would it mean for me to trust in the natural flow of life? Now, this section is on that great word, cultivating. Cultivating acceptance, creating, making acceptance. Number 1. What are some things I'm grateful for in my life right now? What are some things I'm grateful for in my life right now? Number 2. How can I focus on the present moment rather than worrying about the future or past? How can I focus on the present moment rather than worrying about the future or past? Number 3. What affirmations can I repeat to myself to promote acceptance? What affirmations can I repeat to myself to promote acceptance? Don't worry, guys, there will be some affirmations later in the podcast. If you struggle with that one, you can leave that blank and take a couple from here, or you can add the ones you create, or choose your favorites. And the final part of this journaling practice that I'm going to give you, the final 3 questions, is more about reflecting on progress. The first is, how have I grown in acceptance over time? How have I grown in acceptance over time? Number 2, what challenges still remain and how can I work on them? What challenges still remain and how can I work on them? And finally, what self-awareness have I gained through this process? What self-awareness have I gained through this process? These prompts can help you explore acceptance, let go of resistance, and cultivate a more peaceful and adaptive mindset. I really hope you take the time to pour your feelings into that, and again, I know a few of you may have started answering those things mentally if you're just listening along, and I hope that's already given you a little shift in perspective and showing you more of the power you hold in this. Okay, so I came across this story on acceptance, and I really want to share it with you guys, so get cozy. It starts. A farmer had a beautiful horse that was stolen one night. The neighbors came to console him, saying, "What bad luck! but the farmer simply replied, maybe. The next day, the horse returned, bringing with it several wild horses. The neighbors exclaimed, "What good fortune!" But the farmer just said, maybe. The farmer's son tried to ride one of the wild horses, but it threw him off and broke his leg. The neighbors said, "What bad luck!" Again, the farmer replied, maybe. The next day, soldiers came to the village, conscripting young men to fight in a war. They passed over the farmer's son because of his broken leg. The neighbors said, "What good fortune!" And the farmer said, maybe. That's the end of the story, but I found it absolutely, one, really funny because he is like the most nonchalant guy ever. But this story teaches us that we can't always judge events as good or bad, as they can have unexpected consequences. Acceptance allows us to stay open and adapt to life's twists and turns, finding peace and wisdom in the midst of uncertainty. By saying maybe, the farmer demonstrates acceptance and non-judgment, showing us the value of embracing life as it unfolds. I thought it was such a beautiful, but short story. I mean, I find everything beautiful. You will hear me using beautiful to describe pretty much everything. But I found it a really good story and really funny and really kind of a very clear example of the power of acceptance and not being attached to things and just experiencing. Not everything is good or bad. And it's not really for us to determine if it's happening externally. Now, I'm going to give you some affirmations that I want you to take a moment to repeat back and maybe make note of for practice. You can pick a few of your favorites, like we did last time. Pick 4 of your favorites, say them 4 times every day until we meet again. And I hope to hear that you have been doing your forgiveness affirmations daily and that you can drop me a comment and let me know how that's made a change for you and how you're noticing changes. Well, I said change already, but differences in your body and how you're perceiving things. I would love to get that feedback. So if you've got that to give and you've been a good student, I would love to hear it. So let me just get up the affirmations that I wrote down. Still doing our own theme music. Haven't upgraded to a sound team yet, but we're getting there, I hope. Okay. Here are the affirmations I'm going to share with you. I'm going to give you 10 and you can choose your favorites. Maybe use some that you've made from your own journaling, and whatever, any that you feel like creating. And maybe you could maybe you could just use these to inspire you to write your own. But starting with number 1, please do repeat after me and make note if it is the one for you. I accept myself exactly as I am, with all my strengths and weaknesses. I accept myself exactly as I am, with all my strengths and weaknesses. Number 2. I trust that everything is unfolding as it should, and I accept the present moment. I trust that everything is unfolding as it should, and I accept the present moment. Number 3. I accept others with kindness, compassion, and understanding. I accept others with kindness, compassion, and understanding. Number 4. I let go of resistance and embrace life with an open heart and mind. I let go of resistance and embrace life with an open heart and mind. Number 5. I accept the things I cannot change and focus on what I can control. I accept the things I cannot change and focus on what I can control. Number 6. I am worthy of love and acceptance, just as I am. I am worthy of love and acceptance, just as I am. Number 7. I accept the uncertainty of life and find peace in the present moment. I accept the uncertainty of life and find peace in the present moment. Number 8. I choose to see the beauty in imperfection and accept life's unpredictability. I choose to see the beauty in imperfection and accept life's unpredictability. Number 9. I accept my emotions and allow myself to feel whatever arises. Number 9. I accept my emotions and I allow myself to feel whatever arises. And number 10. I trust in my ability to accept and adapt to life's challenges and find peace in the process. I trust in my ability to accept and adapt to life's challenges and find peace in the process. Repeating these affirmations can really help you create a greater sense of acceptance and inner peace. Please take some time to just feel those affirmations after repeating them. For the next part of the show, I wanna play a little game. So we're gonna do a little quiz, another little spiritual quiz like last time. This time, just to help you guys out a little bit more, I'm gonna make them multiple choice. Okay, because I feel like with a bit of multiple choice, there is that it just makes it a bit more inclusive. I saw the struggle last time, guys, I saw. Okay, so there are 5 questions. Okay, so after you've done this quiz, just jump to the comment section and just let me know out of 5 how many you got right. Okay, so we are entering the quiz time. You're welcome. You are so welcome for that. Anyways, so starting with question number 1. Okay, what is the concept of mindfulness often associated with? Again, what is the concept of mindfulness often associated with? The options are A, multitasking, B, being present in the moment, C, planning for the future, D, dwelling on the past. Okay, your options again are A, multitasking, B, being present in the moment, C, planning for the future, or D, dwelling on the past. What is the concept of mindfulness often associated with? For the next question, guys, Which spiritual practice involves interpreting symbolic meanings of cards? A. Meditation. B. Oracle and tarot reading. C. Astrology. Or D. Journaling. Options again are A. Meditation. B. Oracle and tarot reading. C. Astrology. Or D. Journaling. Which spiritual practice involves interpreting symbolic meanings from cards? Of cards. Sorry. Question number 3. What is the term for the idea that everything in the universe is interconnected? What is the term for the idea that everything in the universe is interconnected? A. Oneness. B. Duality. B. Polarity. D. Separation. A. Oneness. B. Duality. C. Polarity. D. Separation. What is the term for the idea that everything in the universe is interconnected? Number 4. Which spiritual concept refers to the idea of letting go of attachment to outcomes and desires? Which spiritual concept refers to the idea of letting go of attachment to outcomes and desires? A. Detachment. B. Attachment. C. Manifestation. D. Intention. Your options again are A. Detachment. B. Attachment. C. Manifestation. D. Intention. Which spiritual concept refers to the idea of letting go of attachment to outcomes and desires? And finally, number 5. What is the practice of cultivating a sense of gratitude and appreciation for life often associated with? What is the practice of cultivating a sense of gratitude and appreciation for life often associated with? A. Spiritual growth. B. Material wealth. C. Social status. D. External validation. Your options again. A. Spiritual growth. B. Material wealth. C. Social status. D. External validation. Ooh. Alright guys, so by now you got your answers. I hope you wrote them down in letter form. That probably is something that I should have told you at the start. Alright, I'll just tell you the answers with it. Yeah. So the answer to number 1 is B. Being present in the moment. Okay, number 1 is B. Being present in the moment. The answer to number 2 is also B. Oracle and tarot reading. The answer to number 3 is A. Oneness. The answer to number 3 again was A. Oneness. The answer to number 4 is A. Detachment. Letter A for number 4 was detachment. And finally, number 5 was also A for spiritual growth. Okay. Number 5 was A, spiritual growth. Let me know below how much you got out of 5, tribe. Woo! Alright. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about why acceptance is so important to me and how useful it's been to me in my journey to create the recipe for happiness and how it came to be a crucial ingredient. I feel like from a very young point in my life, I became someone that always tried to fix things. I've always been a fixer. I've always been somebody that's like, there's a problem here, let me solve it. And I feel that acceptance helped me slow down that perfectionist side of myself, which is extremely important to learn to silence, as a lot of the time it can put you in such a space of overwork and overstress and overthinking and overplanning and over trying to solve. I found that a big issue with why I used to overthink so much was a lack of acceptance. I am still a believer that we are always able to make things better for ourselves, but we also need to learn to accept the boundaries in which we should go to and how much to do in each moment. And I feel like learning to break things down and make things smaller jobs, and recognizing what needs us to step in from what doesn't, all come from acceptance. Like knowing what things are lets you know how to handle them. Knowing who you are allows you to know how to stand in yourself, how to be in yourself, how to be confident in yourself. It stops you from being in a space where your true self is in any sense something that's vulnerable or could be. It doesn't stop people from trying to attack you. Trust me, I've been in the public image for a while now, and people will still attempt to attack. However, my self-acceptance means that I'm not swayed the way that they may wish I would be, or the way that my old self would have allowed me to be. I'm not as influenced or caring of the perceptions of others, especially that of a negative viewpoint or someone putting criticism on me in a way to try and distract me. Doesn't have the same power, because I know myself and I see myself and I know my own intentions and I know my own heart and I know my own motivations and I know my own direction and I know what I provide, because I accept the wholeness. So it's very difficult for somebody to try and come along and tell me that, the sky is green and the grass is blue, when I have seen, studied and accepted it for what it is. It'd be very difficult for you to sway me. However, that in itself is always something that I could argue about. Here comes the devil's advocate. Just because I've always had this thing about, like, who's to say we're all seeing the same thing and it's not just something that we've collectively agreed upon? We look at that grass and we say it's green because we've all been taught to call it green, but who's to say that when I see green you don't see red and and we both just call it green? But that one can be for another day, guys. Definitely trailing off. My point is, acceptance has been a major tool for me in releasing that perfectionism and that need to control things. It's that letting go and having faith and being intentional and aware of where it is that I can grasp and what I can make a difference in. Now, I want to go into a space of mindfulness because I find that mindfulness can be such a great way to go into a place of acceptance, because we are literally just in the now. And that is basically what acceptance is just being in the now. No judgment, no fight, no resistance, just now. Just here. So, get cozy, guys. We're just going to do a quick body scan, okay? Now, this isn't really to kind of throw you into any kind of set state or bring you off into another world. So please do keep your bearings about you, keep yourself here, okay? But we do want to go on a little bit of just a conscious body scan, because that can really help with just that self-awareness. So, find a comfortable position, either laying down or sitting, and take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Bring Brother, begin by bringing your attention to your toes. Notice the sensation in your toes, the feeling of the floor or the surface beneath them. Feel if you've got socks on, if you've got the blanket over them. Just have a little feel. I don't want you to really move them or anything like that. Just bring an awareness to how your toes feel right now, how your feet feel right now. As you breathe in, imagine fresh energy and relaxation entering your toes, entering your feet. And as you breathe out, imagine any tension and stress leaving your toes, leaving your feet. Slowly bring your attention up through your body, noticing the same sensations in your ankles, your calves, your knees, your thighs, your hips, your lower back, your upper back, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your neck, and your head. As you focus on each area, breathe in relaxation and breathe out tension. Notice any areas of discomfort or tension. Don't try and change them, simply just observe them, like with a kindness and a curiosity. Explore the feeling. Allow yourself to let go of any resistance or judgment. As you continue to breathe deeply, imagine your body becoming heavier, more relaxed, and more grounded. Feel the weight of your body supported by the surface beneath you. Remember, the goal of this practice right now isn't to achieve a specific state, but to bring awareness and acceptance of your body as it is. Allow yourself to just be present with your body exactly as it is. Certain things that you may have overlooked, not really paid attention to, didn't even notice. Like, did you even think of your leg 5 minutes ago? Was you thinking of how your toes felt 10 minutes ago? Your hands, they're a part of you, and somehow they was getting zero attention from you. Zero energy from you. Take a few more deep breaths, and when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Take a moment to notice how you feel. Now, that mindful technique I will be recording in a practice video for you guys, so don't worry. Just like the forgiveness podcast, we had a forgiveness meditation that came separately. I will also be releasing a mindfulness acceptance process or tool that you can use. Listen along and we can work on that switching the body off together technique. But you have all the tools there, all the ingredients for that there. So if you want to just go over that and take a bit more time with yourself, by all means you can. But if you want to be guided through that in a slower process of really just connecting with feeling your whole body, then that will be released in the next few days also. So stay tuned and look out for the next video, which will be the mindfulness practice on acceptance and just switching the body off. We may add some acceptance affirmations into that as well, just to incorporate it a little bit more. But we are going to just get into a space of just feeling and seeing and embodying, and it's a really, really great mindfulness technique. Today, we have learnt that acceptance is a key ingredient for happiness because it allows you to let go of resistance and stop fighting against things as they are, which in turn reduces stress and anxiety. By accepting your emotions and circumstances, you can acknowledge and process them more easily, reducing unnecessary suffering. Honestly, guys, sometimes we are our biggest enemies. Acceptance also helps you focus on the present moment, rather than getting caught up in regrets about the past or worries about the future. This mindfulness allows you to appreciate what you have and find gratitude in your life, rather than constantly striving for something more. When you practice acceptance, you become more resilient. In the face of challenges and setbacks or whatever comes your way, you're better able to adapt to difficult situations and find ways to move forward, rather than getting stuck in resistance or frustration. Furthermore, acceptance can improve your relationships with others. By accepting people for who they are, you can build deeper and more meaningful connections with them, free from judgment and expectation. By incorporating acceptance into your life, you can create a more peaceful, grateful, and resilient foundation for happiness. You'll be better equipped to navigate life's ups and downs with ease and find joy and contentment in the present moment. On my journey, I've faced many difficult obstacles, and along them I've had to find different tools and different ways to come out on top, or even just learn how to function again. One quote that I read is by a man called Khalil Gibran, and it's from his book The Prophet. And the quote goes, "Pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses our understanding." Pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses our understanding. That has become one of the most powerful quotes that I turn to when I'm faced with adversity, difficulty, struggle, hardship. I turn to that quote. Whenever I feel intense levels of pain, to keep me on track, I remind myself, pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses our understanding. What allows us to be intentional, what allows us to be directional, what allows us to move with heart. That story, that quote, is also reminds me of another story that I had to look up to get it verbatim, so I'm going to read that to you, but I had heard this story before, so listen up. A man was walking through the forest when he came across a butterfly struggling to emerge from its cocoon. Out of compassion, the man decided to help the butterfly by cutting open the cocoon. To his surprise, the butterfly emerged, but its body was weak and its wings were small and shriveled. The man watched as the butterfly struggled to fly, but it couldn't. A wise old man who was watching explained that the struggle to emerge from the cocoon is necessary for the butterfly to develop strength and for its wings to expand. By cutting open the cocoon, the man had deprived the butterfly of this crucial stage, which was essential for its growth and development. The moral of the story is that struggles and challenges are a natural part of life, and acceptance of these difficulties can lead to growth and strength. By accepting and working through our struggles, rather than trying to avoid and escape them, we can develop the resilience and character needed to overcome them. The story highlights the importance of acceptance in allowing us to navigate life's challenges and find opportunities for growth and transformation. There are honestly so many moments where we are hitting a wall, where we're being faced with difficulty, we're being faced with pain, we're being faced with challenge, and we're not progressive with it because the pain is too much and the challenge is too intense and we don't feel capable, and and we get into this overthinking and we don't feel capable because of things that we've been through in the past, and we don't know if we've got what we need for the future, and we've already let go of the now. We've already let go of the acceptance of where we are. And that's from a practice of never really accepting, never really seeing, never really embodying that pain, that hardship, that challenge, accepting that as being a part of your growth and your development and your power. Accepting the fact that you are capable of getting through to the other side, that you are strong enough. Acceptance is such a vital ingredient in happiness and in our self-peace. But so is the pain for us to get there. Again, going back to that previous quote, it's 90% how we react to it, right? You've been through that pain. How are you going to react to it? How are you going to continue to react to it? How are you going to live moving forward? Is it just going to stay pain, or are you ready to turn it into one of those superpowers that you wrote in the comment section earlier? Okay, so I want to share some of Buddha's concepts. There are 3 in particular that are around acceptance that I'd like to share. And the first one is tanha. Now, again, guys, if I'm butchering it, please do let me know below how to phonetically pronounce these things. I'm not the greatest, okay? And this is to do with like craving energy. And this is accepting things as they are rather than craving or resisting them. That is Tana. Yeah, Tanha. Please do look it up and see if this is a practice you want to learn to embody. We then have Upekkha, which is Upekkha. Again, guys, teach me. This is equanimity, and this is about cultivating a balanced and accepting mind in the face of life's challenges. Again, going into this like, hey, I'm not going to go this way or that way. It's more about no judgment, but it still is very much, to have no judgment is very much embodying acceptance also. And then we also have Sacca, which is truth. Sacca. Accepting reality as it is, rather than trying to impose our own version of reality. Now, Buddha really does have some gems there. Okay, Buddha really does have some gems there, so I really do hope you take the time to learn about these things and embody them. But I got some more fun facts coming up for you. Starting with brain chemistry. Did you know that acceptance can alter brain chemistry, reducing stress hormones like cortisol and increasing feel-good hormones like serotonin? It also actually works in neuroplasticity, which is literally about rewiring the brain. So like regular practice of acceptance can rewire the brain, making it easier to accept challenging situations. Acceptance is also the reason there are so many of the social progresses that we've had. Acceptance of diversity has driven social progress, promoting equality and inclusion. We're talking about peace treaties as well, human rights. There's so many things that without acceptance, we could have never come to as a society. Like acceptance of different perspectives has led to signing of numerous peace treaties, ending wars and conflicts. The acceptance of human rights has led to significant advancements in projecting vulnerable populations, vulnerable people. Now, I know these things don't exist everywhere, but for them to exist anywhere, we had to get acceptance involved, and people had to recognize the wrongdoings they were doing and also accept where other people were existing. It's played a big part in conflict resolution as well. Like acceptance-based approaches have been used in conflict resolution so many times, promoting peaceful resolution for all people involved. So that is necessary for anyone to be progressive. And of course, let's not forget personal growth, okay? Acceptance has empowered individuals to embrace their strengths and weaknesses, leading to so much greater self-awareness and personal growth, and development, and just, you become your higher self, you become a better version of yourself. Once you accept yourself, once you accept what work is needed, once you feel yourself and hold yourself. We've already highlighted that, but hey, we all need reminders sometimes. Acceptance is like a warm hug, except sometimes the hug is from yourself and you're just giving yourself a pat on the back for finally giving up trying to change everything. It's honestly like folding a fitted sheet. Sometimes you just have to relax, stop fighting it, and admit it's never going to look perfect anyway. Like, it's just letting go. We're learning to let go. We're learning to release. Now, speaking of fitted sheets, acceptance is really fitting for me right now. Because at this point of recording the podcast, we are at the stage where my TikTok has been deleted permanently. This is TikTok against me, and obviously what I do, the messages that I share, and how I choose to create. So now I'm having to go into a place of acceptance. And the irony of this, honestly, guys, I have to laugh at the angels sometimes because their intervention is always perfect timing, even if it doesn't quite feel like it. my TikTok is something that I have poured my heart into for the last year. It has been very much a creative project that I have invested a lot of energy, time and effort into. I've built a community there, and you guys most likely are from there, so thank you for listening. I love you all so much, and thank you so much for your continued support. It really did break my heart to lose the page, and without finishing this podcast yet, and this episode being about acceptance, I can't help but laugh at the irony of that. I myself have had to turn to several of the techniques I've recorded in this practice, including a lot of deep breathing, a lot of letting go, and a lot of journaling. So please know that I do practice what I preach. I myself am going through a journey of acceptance, and knowing that this intervention has happened for the greatest good. I'm excited to see what comes from this and what the energy behind it is. I trust and believe that the divine has an even greater plan in mind, and I trust that, and I have faith in that, and I accept that. So see me as your literal example of this, as I learn to accept the loss and go through the grieving process of what I loved no longer existing. And as I accept the power I do hold and the direction I can take, and I move toward that. Thank you for being here for this journey and supporting me along the way. It really does mean the world to me. I cannot express my gratitude enough to all of you who have come through. In the description below, if you are watching on YouTube, is the link to my new TikTok page. I only have one at the moment. That is re.alien. And that's on TikTok and on Instagram. That is my handle, ri.alien, ALIEN. That is my handle on both TikTok and on Instagram. So if you do want to connect with your girl, that is where to find me. Very grateful. So on that note, guys, this podcast will be a bit shorter than the last one, just as I have had a delay in recording time, and I want to just make sure that you guys receive this on time, Friday, at the time that was decided by the angels, 1818. So I'm gonna leave you guys with a riddle. Okay, learn it, say it to your friends, get everybody thinking in this energy. All right. I'm not about changing what's true, but embracing it through and through. I bring peace to the troubled mind, and I help you find calm, leaving stress behind. I'm not about changing what's true, but embracing it through and through. I bring peace to the troubled mind and help you find calm, leaving stress behind. What am I? Drop your answer in the comments section below. Now, I just again want to say a huge thank you so much to all of you who have taken the time to tune in with me today, listen to the podcast, vibe with me, learn some stuffs, and choose to develop yourself. Like I always say, when we do something for ourselves to get us in a better state, when we pour into ourselves and we choose to make ourselves better versions of ourselves, when we release that tension, when we release that anger, when we release that resentment, when we move with passion and heart, when we change ourselves, we change the world. Okay, your vibration matters. You make a bigger impact than you could ever begin to imagine. Thank you. Thank you for coming here to this healing space. Thank you for choosing to be your higher self. Thank you for gathering another tool for your journey and another ingredient for your recipe to happiness. Please tune in again, this time next week, Friday, 1818, on the clock, UK time, of course. In case you couldn't tell, I know my accent changes a lot, guys. It really does. It really does. Where am I even from? Who knows? Find out in the Q&A. But yes, guys, on this note, it's that point. As I've mentioned before, I'm not great at saying goodbye. I don't really want to leave, but I've got to leave. I gotta go. I gotta do some things. Okay, bye. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Love you.
Yeah, re-alien. The vibe is lit on the moon with the mic and a healing kit. Alien core with the firm and talk. Welcome to the show, now let's take that walk. Yeah, re-alien, the vibe is lit on the moon with the mic and a healing kit. Alien core with the firm and talk. Welcome to the show, now let's take that walk. Let's take that walk. Yeah, re-alien, the vibe is lit on a moon with a mic and a healing kit. Alien core with the firm and talk. Welcome to the show, now let's take that walk. Let's take that walk. Yeah, re-alien, the vibe is lit on a moon with the mic and a healing kit. Alien core with the firm and talk. Welcome to the show, now let's take that walk. Yeah, re-alien, the vibe is lit on a moon with the mic and a healing kit. Yeah, alien core with the firm and talk. Welcome to the show, now let's take that walk. Yeah, let's take that walk. Yeah.